Welcome to Ultimate Revenge Tales. Tonight, you'll hear a story that will crawl under your skin. It's about betrayal, rage, and a father who lost everything to the one person he thought he could trust. Stay with me until the very end because the twist, you won't see it coming. Before we dive in, hit like and subscribe if you enjoy what I do here. And drop a comment with where you're tuning in from and what time it is. It's always fascinating to see who's listening around the world. I wasn't born into money. I wasn't chasing some high powered career. I was just an ordinary American guy. I had a job at a modest auto repair shop in Ohio. My hands were always greasy, my back always sore. But it paid enough to keep food on the table, a roof over our heads, and gas in the car. My world revolved around two people, my wife Erica and my son Tyler. Tyler was 7, bright, curious, always asking questions about the world, how engines worked, why the sky changed colors at sunset, why adults argued so much. He was my anchor, the kid who'd grab my hand after a long shift and say, "Dad, can we build a model car tonight?" And I'd always say yes, no matter how tired I was. But Erica, something about her started to change. At first, it was subtle. She'd pull away when I kissed her after work. She'd roll her eyes at my jokes when friends were over. She'd mutter things under her breath like, "God, you're clueless sometimes." Little remarks that cut deeper than she probably realized. I brushed it off and told myself it was stress. She had her own job as a paralegal, and between work and raising a kid, I figured she was just tired. But then came the excuses. Late night at the office. Just grabbing drinks with the girls. Don't wait up. She started spending less and less time at home. And when she was home, it felt like I was invisible. The way she looked at me wasn't the way a wife should look at her husband. It wasn't love. It wasn't respect. It was disgust. I kept asking myself, what did I do wrong? But the real gut punch came one night when I overheard her whispering to someone on the phone, thinking I was asleep. "He's not a good father, Mom. He scares Tyler sometimes. I don't even know if it's safe anymore." That one line froze me to the core. Safe? Me? I would die before I hurt my son. That was the first time I realized something was deeply, dangerously wrong. And I had no idea how far she was willing to go. It started with small things. Tyler refusing to sit with me at dinner, saying, "Mom says you yell too much." I don't yell. Not at him. Never. Then it escalated. One weekend, I picked him up from school, and he looked at me like I was a stranger. He sat stiff in the back seat, staring out the window. Finally, he said, almost whispering, "Mom said I shouldn't be alone with you." I damn near drove off the road. I tried to ask Erica about it that night, and she exploded. "You think you're some perfect father? You terrify him, Jake. You terrify both of us." "What the hell are you talking about?" I shouted back. She crossed her arms, calm now, almost smug. "You'll always be worthless. You can't provide. You can't control your temper. And Tyler deserves better than a man like you." That cut deeper than anything. Because she wasn't just insulting me. She was trying to take the one thing that gave my life meaning. The weeks turned into hell. Every time I tried to hug my son, he flinched. Every time I tried to talk to him, he'd parrot back something Erica said. "You're dangerous. You're not safe. Mom said I shouldn't trust you." It was like she was brainwashing him. And then came the legal papers. Erica filed for full custody. In her affidavit, she wrote that I was an unstable, aggressive man with violent tendencies. She listed incidents that never happened, claimed I broke things, screamed at Tyler, even threatened her. All lies, but in the eyes of the court, a mother's word carries weight. My lawyer told me bluntly, "It doesn't look good, Jake. If you fight this, they'll dig into your finances, your past jobs, everything. You'll come out looking worse. The judge won't risk a child's safety. I wanted to fight. God, I wanted to fight. But every day Tyler looked at me with more fear in his eyes. Every day Erica whispered poison into his ear. So when my lawyer said the words, "You can voluntarily sign away your rights," it'll be easier on him, on everyone. I broke. I walked into that courtroom, sat at that cold wooden table, and I signed the papers that made me legally irrelevant to my own son. Do you know what it feels like to watch a judge stamp approval on the death of your role as a father? To see your ex-wife smirk as if she won the war? I died that day. Or at least the man I was before did. And I thought that was the end of it. But I was wrong. After that courtroom day, I disappeared. Not physically, I still showed up at the shop, still paid bills, and still breathed. But inside, I was hollow. My son was gone. My marriage was ash. And every time I closed my eyes, all I could hear was Erica's voice. "You'll always be worthless." For weeks, I drank myself to sleep, spent nights staring at the ceiling, wondering if maybe Erica was right. Maybe I was worthless. Maybe Tyler was better off without me. But then, one night, I sat in my dark apartment with a bottle of whiskey and a photo of Tyler in my hands. His little toothless grin from when he was 5. The kid who once said, "Dad, you're my hero." And it hit me like a punch to the gut. I wasn't worthless. She made me believe that. She poisoned him against me. And now she was living her best life, parading around as the perfect single mom, while I was painted as the monster. That's when something snapped. I wasn't going to just lie down and let her win. I couldn't get my rights back. Not legally, the courts had taken care of that. But revenge? Revenge was still on the table. I started watching her. Not in a creepy way, not at first, just observing. She still lived in the same house, Tyler's toys scattered in the yard. But I noticed a new car in the driveway. Sleek. Expensive. Not something a paralegal salary could cover. Then I saw him. A man. Mid-40s, clean-cut, expensive suits. He'd pull up late at night, kiss her in the driveway, and walk inside like he owned the place. It didn't take long to figure out who he was. One of the lawyers from her firm. Divorced, wealthy, and from the way Erica looked at him, he was more than just a fling. So she'd replaced me, not just as a husband, but as a father figure to my son. And that was when the plan started forming. I couldn't take Erica down through the courts, but I could take everything else. Her reputation, her shiny new relationship, the perfect little world she'd built on lies. I started small, anonymous emails to the firm about inappropriate conduct between her and the lawyer. Hints that she'd been sleeping with him before his divorce was finalized. Enough to make whispers start circulating. Then I dug deeper. Social media, public records, credit reports. Erica had racked up debt she'd hidden from everyone. Credit cards maxed out, late payments piling up. I packaged it neatly into an anonymous tip to the firm's partners. Within a month, she was under review. The lawyer started pulling away too. No rich man wants to get tangled in drama that might ruin his career. I could see it in the way he stopped coming around as often. The way Erica started showing up alone again. But I wasn't done. I wanted her to feel the way I felt, to watch the ground crumble beneath her feet, to see everything she loved slip away. So I set the trap. I knew she kept Tyler's tablet synced to her phone. I slipped a little program onto it, nothing illegal, just enough to mirror her messages. And what I saw. She wasn't just bad-mouthing me to Tyler. She was lying to everyone, telling friends I'd abused her, telling the family I was violent, even telling her church group that I had dark secrets. Every word she spoke was another knife in my back. So I gathered it all: screenshots, voice recordings, financial records. I built a dossier thicker than a phone book, and then I waited for the right moment. One night, she hosted a dinner party. Old friends, family, even her precious lawyer showed up. I knew because I was parked half a block away, watching. And that's when I made my move. I sent every single file to her boss, to her lawyer boyfriend, to her family, to her friends, all at once. A storm of truth and poison combined. If my plan failed, I'd lose everything. But if it worked, she'd lose more than I ever did. If you're still here, you're my kind of person. Hit like and let's go deeper into the plan. It was chaos. Within 24 hours, Erica was suspended from her job, pending internal review. Her lawyer boyfriend cut her off completely, didn't even return her calls. Her family, the ones who once looked at me with disgust, now looked at her with shame. I should have felt satisfied. I should have felt like justice had been served. But it wasn't enough. So I went for the final blow. I filed a defamation suit. Every lie she told about me, every word she poisoned Tyler with, I put it in writing. My lawyer was hesitant, but with the evidence I had, we had a shot. The case dragged on for months, and during that time, Erica's life fell apart. She was drowning in debt, unemployed, abandoned by her new lover, and slowly turning into the same hollow shell she once made me feel like. I watched it all happen from the sidelines, cold and calculating. And then came the day in court. I walked in, expecting to face the same woman who once stood over me, smirking as I signed away my rights. But the person sitting at that table wasn't the Erica I remembered. She was thinner, pale, broken. She didn't even look at me. The trial was brutal. Every lie she told was dragged into the light. And when the verdict came down in my favor, the satisfaction was unlike anything I'd ever felt. For the first time in years, I felt like I'd won. But that's when the twist hit me. Because Tyler, he was in the courtroom too. He didn't run to me. He didn't smile. He didn't cry. He just stared. A blank, unreadable stare that cut deeper than anything Erica ever said. And later, when I tried to approach him in the hallway, he said 5 words that shattered me completely. "You ruined Mom's life, Dad." Not, "I miss you." Not, "I'm glad you're okay." Just blame. And in that moment, I realized something horrifying. In my quest to destroy Erica, I had destroyed the only chance I had left with my son. She poisoned him, yes, she twisted him against me, but my revenge, my cold, calculated revenge had finished the job. Because now, in his eyes, I wasn't a hero. I wasn't even his father. I was the villain. So here I sit, telling you this story. A man who fought for revenge and got it. Every detail, every strike, every victory. It was mine. But at what cost? Erica lost everything. Her career, her reputation, her lover, her money. She lives in a shadow of the life she once had. And I should feel proud. I should feel like justice was served. But every night, when I close my eyes, I see Tyler's face, that blank stare, those 5 words, and I know that in his story, I'm the monster. Revenge doesn't fix what's broken. Sometimes it breaks the only thing left worth saving. Justice was served, but not in the way I imagined. Most people would have stayed silent, but not me. Only 4% of viewers take action. Are you one of them? If you are, welcome to Ultimate Revenge Tales.